dabbed up, baby.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Peaked. My name is Frank Castillo. This is my lovely co-host JP Noda, as always.
What's up, yo?
And today's guest is a good friend of mine. I love him to death, Martin Amini.
What's up, gang?
Hey, oh shit, I dropped it. There we go. Man, we've known each other for a couple of years now. We met in the East Coast at Washington D.C. Improv, right?
Yes, sir.
We were both opening up for Mo.
Yeah, man.
That was a fucking phenomenal weekend. You watched me get absolutely buried by Tony Woods.
That's right.
Which was
the legend.
The legend. And, oh, God, such a great learning experience.
But what a DC experience to get buried by Tony Woods. There's nothing more DC than that, bro.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, Tony Woods is a very, very funny comic. He's hilarious, an absolute legend. Is cited by Dave Chappelle as one of his huge influences, right?
Yeah.
Huge influence. And I'm sure a lot of comics in DC. But, yeah, he popped in, and I had to do, I can't remember, I think I had to do a feature set after him. I think he only did like 10 minutes, maybe, but he fucking murdered. And I mean, like, was destroying with silence and, like, facial expression. Like, crushed harder than anyone I've seen crush. And then I had to go up after him. And let me tell you, 25 minutes turned quickly into 15 because they lit my ass early. It was rough, but man, it was so much fun. And it was just like, oh, that is why he's the fucking man. Like, he's a blast, dude. It was so great. Sometimes people get, like, discouraged when they fucking have a crazy bomb like that. But that was like, I loved it because it was like, that humbled the shit out of me.
Right.
Like, the next year and a half.
Yeah, bro. He's super unique. His style's original. And he's definitely one dude in DC that I looked up to. Just like getting to watch him at an open mic was like crazy.
Yeah, because you get to see.
He just drops in, bro.
Yeah, you see guys like that where they're at an open mic of all places. You expect it at a comedy club, but when you're at an open mic, you're like, oh, this guy's like a local legend. You know?
Yeah.
It reminded me of like, when Brody used to pop in like LA open mics, Brody Stevens, like people would have stories about him popping in because it was just he would change the energy. And it was just so ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, good times. I'm so glad you're here in Los Angeles now.
Hell yeah, bro.
How long you been in here now?
A year and a half.
And you've loved it?
Bro, it's amazing. This is the best city ever.
I've also seen you go from coming to the store and then your recent huge pop and then now fucking touring and selling out everything, which is a great thing to see.
Thank you, homie.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Fucking love the store. We had a show, last week?
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
A lot
man.
of Mexicans. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, bro.
A whole lot of Mexicans.
Thank you for pulling up and doing it, man.
My pleasure. Perez had a blast too, which is so great.
Yeah, man. Dog, that was my first interaction with him. I never met him and thank you for inviting him to the show, and he killed it. And just having him in the green room, bro. First off, I didn't even know you could smoke in the green room. I was like,
you could smoke.
I was
weed,
like,
you could do cocaine. You could do a lot of things in that green room.
I didn't know I could do these things.
Yeah,
I was like, I gotta use more of these powers.
Absolutely. I mean, you sell at the main room, you can do whatever the fuck you want in that fucking place.
Hey, bro, I still feel like a guest sometimes because it's such a legendary place that you're just like, you just want to like win their approval. You're like, oh man, I just want them to like me.
Yeah.
And
I could see that because it's like I've been there for almost a decade now, and I'm just walking around in my underwear and sandals, just using the shower in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, bro. I mean, you're a huge part of it too. Like you worked the door there, right?
Yeah. I worked the door for a very long time.
So it's just like, that whole process is like,
but
it's historic.
It is, but it's also very cool and fun to see. I was telling someone else this. It was like when I was working the door and like after Roast Battle, I got to like travel as a young comic. Not anymore. I'm old as fuck. I got to travel and meet you and like a lot of young comics that were great, and I would say my peers. But really strong in their own scenes respectively, and then now to see all of us grow up and then now come to the store where it's like...
Yeah, it's the Avengers.
Yeah, or it's also like what Fury said, too. I don't know if you met him that night, too.
No.
Oh, so I know Fury from Sacramento in the Bay Area. That's also cool, is like the circle of comics now starting to like really mix, but like, Fury's like, it feels like our class is starting to come up because it's like all the people that I met that are my age that were popping, and it's like now we're all converging at the store. It's a young generation, and I think the next few years is going to be very interesting.
This new wave of LA, well, it's like our time. A lot of the older guys, some of them dipped, like they're not, and I think there's like this new class at the store. Yeah. It's exciting, man.
Yeah.
It's exciting to fucking be on the main stage and sell out shows and have your homies be a part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm excited for the future.
Yeah.
I know Austin's definitely going to change things, but I'm excited to see what LA does.
Nah, bro, LA's always gonna have an energy too. And
Of
like,
course.
bro, there's always a shitload of Mexicans ready to fucking see a show.
Absolutely.
Like, they fucking pulled up.
That was
and they were,
so fun.
Dog, they were ready, bro.
Yeah, dude. Line out. It was so funny to see you taking pictures too with all of them. And I was like, it's so funny. And other comics being like, wait, is Martin Mexican? And it was just so funny. So
I'll be on
funny.
stage sometimes. I'll be like, why do you guys like me? And then one time this girl just yelled at us, like, the way you talk. I'm like, oh, because I enunciate? And it was like, I still don't know.
I think it's because you sound like a lot of the Mexican guys whose English was a second language. You know what I mean? Like you sound like everyone's Mexican cousin or like Cholo cousin. You know what I mean?
But you know what it is? I think it's just because I come from the East Coast, so it sounds different.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, this guy's like different. I'm like, yeah, I'm just from D.C.
Yeah.
But everyone's just like, what is this language?
Yeah.
What is this accent? It's so exotic. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just from the East Coast,
Yeah,
bro.
what is it called? The DMC, right? No.
DMV.
DMV. DMC, hilarious. Yeah, what's also interesting to see the TikTok audiences, because, I mean, it is an audience in itself, but I think, like, comedy in itself is a very niche thing, especially, like, comedy clubs and, like, podcasts and all that jazz. So with TikTok, you really get to see this new fan base get to come and, like, experience clubs either for the first time or, like, they're just like, I've always wanted to go, and they finally start to, you know, and it's cool to see them come back and
It's
also
so
have
fire,
fun.
bro.
Yeah.
Seeing young kids who never seen comedy before, just like
21-year-olds.
bro, like just ready, bro.
Yeah.
Just so ready. And yeah, it's funny because like I'm becoming like their guy. So I'll just like anything I do, they're just like, oh my God, he's doing it. Like I just roast people.
Yeah.
And it's like for me, it's weird to pop off of just roasting clips because I've been doing comedy for 10 years and writing jokes for 10 years. I'm like, I got jokes too,
Yeah,
They're like,
you're like, I
no.
have an hour.
They're like, no, make fun of that Asian guy. Like, oh, fuck, all right. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. I guess if I sell out a show, fuck.
And that's the crazy thing about where it's like roasting, where it was, and that's the thing with like the roast battle is like, there's something that I loved about just roasting in general and seeing how infectious it is and the different kind of laugh you get than like a written bit.
Yeah.
Like, especially watching with like the roast
It's raw,
battle.
bro. It's raw.
It's in the moment.
It's bus stop
real.
comedy. It's like being at the bus
is
stop
bus
and
stop
just
comedy.
talking all this shit to your friends, and like the funniest dude is like the coolest.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the bus stop rules, and
To see how people are, because I've seen people go like, oh,
Yeah,
that's too,
yeah.
but there's
But
just
nah.
still weird inside where they're like, this is still funny and I shouldn't be laughing at it, but
Yes.
they like love it.
nah, bro. My audience, they fucking thrive on that. They fucking want it, and they're there to see that.
Yeah,
It's-
Mexicans love watching
Yeah.
people get torn down.
Just my dog, Latinos in general, and also just minorities, bro. I think like Middle Easterns love that shit. Like everyone kind of loves it. I guess except for white people. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, white people like, I mean,
Well, you can't change the power dynamic. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Come on.
it's true. But then you get to some of the southern states. Those
Poor white people love it.
They fucking love that shit too.
Yes.
They love it.
Yes. Bakersfield loves it.
Yes.
Lancaster, great time.
Yeah, bro. Any military town, they love a good shit
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, yeah.
Any military base loves a good shit talking.
Yeah. It is very interesting to see the science behind it.
Yeah, bro.
All right, we should get into the first one. All
Let's
right,
go
so,
do
what is the
Let's get
first
it.
one that we're doing?
You brought it by from 710. I think it's Pralines number 2 on there. I'm not super familiar with the strain, but when I did look it up briefly, it looks like it was a Bubba
Oh,
cross.
y'all got scientific
It's a
on
nice
me right
Bubba
here.
OG.
Yeah. All right. So, have you done a dab on one of these things before?
No.
Okay. So this is the Puffco Proxy. It's a modular device, basically an electronic dab rig that turns it into a bong. This is the Wizard pipe that they just released. But there's different heat settings. I'm going to keep you on a low one.
Yeah, please.
That way you can taste it and such
And enjoy it.
and enjoy it.
Nice.
If you toggle it like this, it just increases airflow. It'll
So
vibrate.
there's no fire.
Nope. It'll vibrate when it's ready and inhale slow. It's not like a bong.
All right.
It's still got to vibrate. It's warming up. Yeah, it's electronic. I like it. How is? I got to bring a third one. No. Oh, okay. Yay! I got a third one coming.
It's vibrating now.
Yeah, hit it. There we go. Are you a big? I mean, I know you're a big stoner and you like mushrooms, but do you smoke hash often?
Hash is different. Hash is different, bro. I feel like there's levels to this shit. And I think like one time, it was like 2015. I was at an open mic in DC. And this is like when like wax pens just dropped. Sorry.
No, go.
Wax pens just came out. To the point where I didn't even know what it was. Someone's like, yo, you want to hit this? And I was like, what is it? Like, it's electronic. It's weed. Dog, I hit it. That's how I found out what fucking hash is. Hash, like, dog, like, I was so fucked up. When it was like one of the worst experiences on stage, because I had to go on stage. I had like a little bit of not a breakdown on stage, but it was like a minute.
It was a panic attack.
Because it was open, breaking down at an open mic is just like being yourself. Like at that point, it's just, at that point, you're just,
an open mic.
at that point, it's art. It's expression.
Yeah.
What is a breakdown at an open mic?
Snap.
Yeah. It's all feelings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I was just on stage and I was like, holy fuck. And it hits you different, bro. And personally, I don't know, you said you're 5 dabs in today. And I don't see the need to be 5. Like that's like, man.
For research? No, I did it for work.
Yeah, bro. That's a different headspace, bro. Yeah. I like shrooms because I feel like I can get shit done. And a lot of what I do is like I spend a lot of my off time just reflecting on, because when you become successful at touring, you don't gotta grind as hard. You do a lot of reflecting. That's what my real job is now. Like, what do you do for a living? Is it comedy? Like, nah, dog. It's reflecting, bro. I fucking reflect, fool. Because sometimes I try to think of because I'm trying to write new shit all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck. Like, all my new problems are like kind of soft.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm like, fuck. What was some of the shit from back in the day I could fucking talk about?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, bro, it's just different, and that's why I do shrooms. When you're on like,
how much shrooms do you do?
Decent amount, you know. It all depends. You just gotta like balance it with like.
No, I meant like in like
to trip.
Like to get stuff done. If you're like, I have to get stuff done today, I'm gonna do a little bit of shrooms.
I would say anywhere up to a gram to be functional. Once you get to 1.5 and up, you're starting to like get a little wavy. Like that's like a little, like yeah, you
depends
doing
too.
more than having fun. You trying to like you know hang out.
Yeah.
But to get shit done and to like write or to like talk to like people around you, I'll do like up to a gram.
I'll admit, if I do more than 6 steps, it's a little tough for me to
Of course.
try to write something.
What do you mean? You act like that's like some bitch thing to like, oh, I got to be honest. After 6 dabs, like, yeah,
3
bro.
dabs,
How can you function
Half a
after
gram of rosin, things are a little tough.
Yeah.
I just did one, and I'm like, bro, like, is this necessary?
Yeah.
I just want to hang with you guys. Is there any like? They're like, no. In order to hang with us, you have to do this dab. I'm like, all right, well, fine. I guess I'll. That's like me at the store. I'm like, am I allowed to smoke here?
Yeah.
You passed me a
That's
Q-tip.
so funny. When was the first time you were there? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was 2000.
Everyone has their first time stories.
Yeah, 2019, bro.
Was an employee mean to you?
Actually, bro, fuck. This is so funny. It was you, dog.
Really?
I was sitting in the OR, and I just remember like this is my first time. I was like by myself, and I just wanted to kind of just like scope it. I'm very like when I scope shit out, I like to be super discreet. Like I'm in the back, and I just remember like you were working the door at the time. This is like 2017. This is back. Yeah, this is back. And you go, hey man, this seat's for regulars. And I go, what? I didn't even know what the fuck. I didn't know what that meant. He was like, yeah, you can't sit here. I was like, oh shit. I was so embarrassed. And then I was like mad at you, but then I realized later that you were a comic too. I didn't know you were a comic. Yeah. So I thought you were just some guy who told me I can't sit there. And that was your job. Yeah. To tell people like, yo, you can't sit there. I was like, man, fuck that dude. His job's terrible. That's a terrible job. That's like parking meters and that guy. I hate them all. They should all be fucking sent out. And so, but then later I saw that and then I kind of like started like, yeah, there was no documentaries at this point. This is like all the cool documentaries I think came out after, like explaining what the fucking store is and like the levels to it and just just learning that you were just doing a lot of that shit to you're a part of the store. So I just remember like, oh fuck, all right, I guess I can't sit there anymore. It's just like all right.
So let me explain. It's the paid regular seats. I think
at the back of the room,
back of the OR,
and they're kind of convenient because they're right by the door. I'm just like, these are great. Like at the time, I'm like, I'm a comic too, This is where I want to sit. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. But it's like paid regulars only, or guests of the performers of that night. So like it is like and I'm not gonna pretend like employees don't take a little pride in kicking people out of the seats.
Yeah.
It is very satisfying.
Yeah, bro. You were so smooth with the two. You're like, it's like you had a script ready, bro.
Yeah,
You're like,
well-
well, actually, this is for paid. I'm like, oh.
And
all right.
usually I like to try to keep it sweet, and I'm not trying to be mean, because I've seen Luke embarrass the shit out of people. Like,
Yeah,
thoroughly just give it to them. And they're like, oh, I'm a comic. And they're like, oh, are you? Do you sleep in your car outside? Like, really just fucking, you know, because Luke's he's probably 2 years into his shit.
Yeah. He loves that shit.
Yeah, he loves it. One of my favorites.
Dude, I get it.
I caught a girl, Molly Bowes. She's a very funny comic. I think she's now 24. I always think of this every time her birthday rolls around. But she tried to sneak into the club with a fake ID. And she gave it to me, and I looked, and I go, this isn't you. And she goes, what? And I go, you're 19, aren't you? And she goes, and I go, I have to keep this. You're not old enough to be in here. And she goes, damn. And then like walked away.
Oh, man.
And then I was in Phoenix, Arizona at a bar at an open mic, and she walked up to me and she goes, hey, I know you. And I was like, oh no, what did I do? And then she was like, you don't remember me, do you? And I go, no. And she goes, you kicked me out of the Comedy Store when I was underage. And I was like, ah, shit. I also kicked Olivia Grace out when she was underage. Listen, not a single underage kid's getting to this club while I'm working. No, but I remember, I kicked Olivia Grace out too,
Yeah,
and then same thing. She was like, "Fuck that guy, fuck you, Frank." Like she was so mad, and then years later, now she's like,
you're like the RA, man. You got a fucking Comedy Store RA over here.
I don't know, get in.
What are you guys doing over there? Drinking, having a good time? Get out of here.
I used to sneak
Scram,
into places
kid.
all the time. Just be better at it. You know what I mean?
Nah, respect.
I'm high as shit. Come on, you can't get past me.
Someone's got to do it, bro.
Yeah. Someone's got to kick all of Chris D'Elia's dates out. You know what I mean?
Got him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny. Anyways, but yeah, no, it's I'm so sorry.
No, bro. I didn't even think of it until I was like, fuck. Actually, that was a dab memory, bro. The dab took me there. Took me to another. I fucking teleported real quick, bro. I'm over here transcending, bro, in real time.
What? I just got to transcend, dog. Yeah. So when you were in DC, because there's always like local legends and like local crazy people. We had Boone Shakalaka. I don't know if you ever got to meet them, but when you were in DC, did you see anything crazy at open mics? Anything?
Boom, ready to go. Uncle Tony. Uncle Tony. That's how every time he go on stage, he's wearing like the most like poppin' church suit he has in his closet. He just go on stage, bro. And sometimes, like, here's the thing: open mics are very humbling. Like sometimes there's a list. Sometimes you got to wait till like so this guy would like wait 2 hours with his best suit on, and just go on stage and be like, Uncle Tony, and just yell that shit out at the top of his lungs. And just talk and just say that line, his name, basically, after every as a punchline. And we'd all just be like, oh, most people be like, this is insane. But I'd be like, nah, this is amazing, bro.
Right? Because it's just so different. And especially at open mics, it's almost this thing of like.
Years later, I find out that Uncle Tony works for the post office and delivers mail for a living. And I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, we find out they have the most regular job.
Yeah,
and then
man.
just they live this crazy life.
Yeah, that's like their thing, bro.
Yeah.
They get respect to Uncle Tony first off.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, respect, bro. That's fucking, yeah, bro. That's like DC open mic history right there, bro. Like seeing Uncle Tony at the mics.
In Temecula, there was a lady. Her name was Anita Miller. She's still alive. This woman was like 80 when I met her.
Yeah.
Right. And she would go up and she'd just be like a little old lady, and then she would tell the funniest jokes you've ever heard. And she had like the funniest 15 minutes I've ever heard, and it never changed. It was always the same, but it always fucking murdered. And she was just like everybody's grandma. But yeah, she just like had a joke. I wish I remembered all the material.
How old is she?
She's like at over 70.
Oh fuck, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Just to be out in public is wild.
Yeah.
Let alone an open mic.
She's gonna message me and be like, "I'm 62."
And then I don't know much about Temecula, but there was one dude from our show that we did last week that was from Temecula because he yelled it out.
Oh yeah.
And that's like, oh, I could tell this is a wild town because the way you yelled out Temecula at the top of your lungs in front of 300 people, I'm like, oh, this dude, it's a wild town.
I gotta send you a video. There's a video of a guy.
Is that where you're from?
No, I'm not from the Bay Area. I lived in Temecula for like 3 or 4 years, but I finished my senior year of high school there.
Sick.
So it's one of those places.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means.
Temecula is one of those places where they had it's been growing into a big city for a while. So they used to only have like 2 high schools. Now they have 3. And I was the third high school was just opening when I was a senior. So I think it was
Okay.
like
What is it? Is it like farm? Isn't it like?
So it's an old Indian reservation,
Got it.
Native American reservation, and show's over. Show's over. It's an old Native American
Another
reservation.
dab.
Yeah.
That's a dab hit, I
Gotta hit
think.
this peace pipe. So they have a casino. They have a casino. That makes a lot of money, and then they have like it's kind of like a military town, but it's like bigger now.
Yeah.
Like now there's a lot of like home developments that popped up, but it used to just be a small town and just
That's
like an
pretty sick.
outpost. Yeah,
Sick.
yeah. They have a border patrol station, but
I ask questions 'cause I'm trying to learn.
yeah.
That's why I ask questions.
But it is wild that there was a guy from Temecula there. I'm always so surprised when I see
How
people-
far is the drive?
Like an hour and a half, 2
Okay.
hours.
2
Like, it's-
hours?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
little bit of a drive.
Anytime I see people who like drive more than 2 hours, I'm like, oh, that's.
To see a comedy show, what's the furthest someone's driven for you?
Bro, I don't even want to say because it's like pretty. It's getting crazy. at
I've
this
had
point.
someone drive 2.5, but that's still fucking wild.
I've had people fly in, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty
Jeez.
wild.
That's pretty
Yeah,
sick.
it's pretty wild. It's also pressure.
Oh, yeah.
So it's because someone's like, I flew in for this, and I'm like, oh, was it good? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. Was it worth it?
Yeah, yeah. So people do, I guess, get a kick out of like, yeah.
You ever think about how many kids you've probably not inspired, but like.
Well, I
how
can't
many-
inspire anyone, bro. It's like,
No, I mean, like.
like my bros aren't inspiring.
Yeah.
It's from every kid at the bus stop. Like, if I keep talking shit, I could be like Martin Amini one day, bro. You can be successful and transcend.
Like because like people make a night of it. You think of how many like kids have been conceived because of your shows?
No, actually, I'm not. I did not expect that.
Do you think about this regularly?
I mean, well, it's like you because I was
There's
talking
gonna be
about
so many babies after this show. Oh, the babies.
little Amini. It's that Amini bum, dog. So it was like they call them Obama kids when they were like when President Barack Obama won. There was an uptick in pregnancies. I think like the day after, or kids born 6 months or however.
That's
9
weird.
months. 9 months from the day that after.
It's like
you got
political
married.
pussy. It's weird. That's a weird ass fucking. First off, it's a weird stat. Like,
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stats.
It's just like the weird stat podcast.
Who's
Hell yeah.
noticing shit like that?
Who's noticing shit like
Yeah.
that? The news stations.
Yeah, but that means someone sat there and was like, 9 months ago. This is what happened."
Yes.
Well, no, that's also
You're like
just.
taking polls.
I mean, they also. I mean, those
We
are
need
just,
some preg moms. What else are pregnant? We need to go like everybody.
You could track trends in pregnancies,
Someone
right?
at the parks just checking out.
Like you got to think about how many names, how long until there's no Karens. Like how many people just stop naming their kids Karen because of everything that's happening.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird if you do name your kid Karen, knowing what that means.
Well, at that point, you're just like, you know.
They're gonna work at the comedy store. Like, you can't sit there. You're not allowed to sit there. Are you a paid regular? Like, is your name Karen?
Luke's been making a joke that he's because he has a daughter on the way, and he was like, she's gonna be a top tier door guy. She's gonna be kicking people out of the seats.
Sick.
Like 6 years old.
Hell yeah, man. It's gonna be a very...
All right, let's get into the second flavor.
Cool.
All right, let's do it, baby.
You want to explain?
Yeah, what's
the
it
look
called? What's
to
that one
this?
called?
This is
It's on top.
Can I ask you guys a question about dab number 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this gonna help me reflect more?
Probably. It is a little more sativa, a little more
That's the
heady.
reason I came to reflect.
This is the Dirty Pizzaya.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the one.
Check this out. So there's
So
two
what
different.
Punch did in this one is they did two
Smell.
different consistencies. They did the cold cure and the fresh press in the same jar.
I gotta be honest.
Cold cure is
I
going to
don't
be.
question it when there's like 2 other vets in the room. When it comes to dabbing, I always, I let the dab experts handle the dabs. I don't like to dabble with the dabs.
Let me see that.
Another thing I noticed about LA is like the only way to hang out with your friends are to do podcasts. Like that's the only way. I've been trying to hang out with Frank for like a year and a half. Dog, could not hang out with this guy. You either got to book him on your show or do his podcast. Like that's the only way to fucking hang out with him.
Welcome to Los Angeles, dog.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fuck
I mean,
it.
do you like Korean all-you-can-eat barbecue?
Of course.
Okay, yeah, dude. Let's go get
There's
it.
one on Wilshire that my girl said is like the best one that we went to.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Was that what?
Parks
Yeah, is that Parks?
or quarters?
It might have been one of
Okay.
At this point, I don't want to.
There's a few.
I don't want to be racist. Just whatever the good one is.
They're both Michelin-starred ones.
Oh yeah. They were sick. No, they're sick. It's excessive. It's a lot. It's like after.
How many plates can you put down?
I mean, bro, I think this goes. How does it work? It's like, bro, like I got the premier package, so they just kept bringing shit, bro.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, this is a lot of fucking.
Yeah. So when me and Hannah, I'm disgusting. I'm a fat person. So when we go out to all you can eat, I calculate how much the price is of all you can eat, and then how much each individual plate is. So it's like you got to beat the spread, which is like, if they're getting us both for $25 each, all you can eat, that means it's $50. So you got to at least eat 5 plates.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm always pushing forward. And I just realized how disgusting that sounds now that I say it.
You
out loud.
also got to go with someone who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Because they kind of curate the experience. Because otherwise, you're kind of just going in there
Yeah.
You'll pick the wrong shit.
They'll give you too
You'll
much
get the,
rice.
You'll get
fill
the,
up on rice.
You'll pick the wrong sauces.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like a whole science to that shit.
Yeah, I'm disgusting. We go to this all-you-can-eat barbecue spot, and I'm just like, don't eat any rice. Don't fuck around with the free shit they give you. Just focus on the meat.
The trap.
Exactly.
Fucking dab number 2 went down. But wait, you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Throughout this show, you've been doing that throughout the entire show?
No.
Oh.
No, just when we're smoking them.
Why are you, bro?
No, yeah.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, he gets ripped.
Yo, this is like a state of mind over here, bro. This is a state of life.
Yes. This
Yeah,
is
Zen.
his job.
You're Zen. You're fucking Zen as fuck. Are you celebrating anything or nah?
My birthday's on Saturday.
Well, that's like in the
There you
future,
go.
so
Yeah.
I'm talking about right now.
I'm there now.
Are you there now?
Oh, you're there now? Oh, yeah. Damn. Maybe I'm trying to be like you, bro. Maybe I'm reflecting. Like maybe this is the guy. Who just like chill. The guy who like just chills there and just does as many dabs as he wants.
Quiet.
Be like, this
lot
is
of
Too
my
much,
dabs.
man.
He's like,
So
we're
weed
actually
and
sponsored to
fucking
do
smoke
this
weed.
right now, so
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that's pretty
Ain't too
dog. That's a
bad,
pretty
bro.
sick. I gotta
too
fucking
bad.
make people laugh. That shit's stressful, bro.
The first time we met was actually at the store. He was in the audience and I was on stage, and I recognized his sweatshirt from his from the dispensary he worked at, and I jokingly was like, "Can I get a discount?" And he was like, "Sure." And then we met in the back, and then we've been best friends ever since.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. That's a good friendship.
Yeah, man.
I wish I had friends like that.
What, they give you discounts on?
Good weed. and
Yeah.
drugs. Yeah, bro. What do my fucking friends do?
Well, he's also very knowledgeable and a huge.
It's like, nah,
huge
I shouldn't
comedy
say
fan.
that. My friend actually hooked it up with some shrooms recently, so
Well, that's good.
he's a good friend.
Do people just hand you stuff after
Yeah,
shows?
they do, man.
It's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't necessarily always do it, but I always thank them.
Yeah, of course.
And I take pictures with it, like the drugs. Because some of them come nicely packaged.
Hey.
That's another thing about like 2020. Like this year, like people are really stepping
Especially
up
mushrooms.
their game.
Oh,
Yeah,
especially
It's
mushrooms.
all in the packaging.
Yeah.
It's like now it's legal. Like, all right, bro. Like,
You're like, there's a warning label on this?
I'm
This
like,
is crazy.
Yeah, when it comes to my dealers, I'm like, win me
Instructions.
over with some packaging, bro. Don't just sell it to me. Like, win me over.
Oh, you're not impressed with the turkey bag anymore?
Nah, that was dog. I used to fucking turkey bag some shit back in the day. But anyway,
Oh, tell us about back in the day.
bro. Jab number 2. Dos. All right, hold on. Let me take a little water. So, yeah, bro, before comedy, bro, I used to move a lot of weight, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like, I'm trying to think like what stories that.
It's so funny. The thing I've noticed about most people that work in the weed industry now, especially it's like
First off, the
they
fact
do
that you
shit
say
like that.
the fact that you say industry, it's like growing up on the East Coast in the 90s or early 2000s, right? Dealing, it's like, bro, it was like selling. It was almost like selling hard drugs because how illegal it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And how you acted.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like season 3 of The Wire when I was like, it was like very like prepaid. It was very like drug dealing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like in the future, fucking with old Dabby over here.
People on Instagram and shit.
Bro, it's just that's what ages me sometimes, is how chill it is now.
No longer knocking on the screen door, waiting for a guy. And then
Bro,
you
it
go
was
up.
like pretty, and I'm like, it was pretty hood, man. It was pretty like,
Well, because I remember when I went there the one time, it was the stickers thing, where it was like,
yeah,
you
well,
couldn't
that was like stage 1
Yeah.
of like learning how to do it. Yeah, it's like we're all just trying to figure this out type of thing.
yeah,
It was goofy as fuck.
it was.
But even that to me was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because, I grew up a little bit before that where it's like everything was like jail time. Bro, I went to jail for like smoking weed at a park. It was so, it's like so like, embarrassing, but it's also like
Stupid.
That's just the times.
Yeah.
The times you couldn't smoke. And I just was like tired after a long day of selling ice cream. I was hanging out at the park, you know what I mean, with my sister. And bro, like, I remember getting someone. I guess someone called the cops, and the cops came. They smelt it, and they're like, "All right, who's got it?" And I was like, "I'm not going to do your job for you." And that's when shit went downhill. I blacked out after that, bro. Yeah, it was not a good. Yeah, the rest of that story does not go well. Let's just say that.
Did they do it? Their jobs?
Oh yeah, they did their job very good on my face, on my back, on my legs. They did their job all over my face. Man, fucking. But those were the times.
Yeah.
You got fucked up by the police when you smoke weed and talk back. Now it's like, hey man, we're just hanging out. We're just, we're chilling. Talk shit. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know what I guess that's what ages me. I guess.
Well,
So
how
it's
old
what,
are you now?
35.
34.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
But
West Coast has always been.
Yeah, bro.
West Coast has always been very chill.
I was about to say East Coast, bro.
East Coast is much.
I was in Maryland too, and I mean it's just Virginia's still kind of like that.
Yeah.
Virginia's still pretty like they don't fuck around, so it's just like
That's what I understand of what Austin's like. Like Austin, inside Austin, you're fine. But anyone's like, if you go 20 minutes outside the town, you are fucked.
yeah, bro.
for life.
We're like living in the future right now.
Yeah, but only on the West Coast.
There's pockets. San Francisco's pretty chill.
Yeah.
DC now, bro. DC shrooms is decriminalized.
Yeah.
So I talk about it on I always make it a note to talk about shrooms on stage in DC because you could do that shit.
Relatable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that shit.
You can do that shit. Whereas like some cities are like, hey, what's the rules real quick? Like I always I go to the bartenders like, yo, what's the laws on shrooms rule out here? And they'll tell you and like, oh, okay, I'll chill. Cause I don't want to talk about something to my audience that's like, oh, you can get locked up right now to do if you were doing it. So I don't like. I
You're
rather
like,
just,
I'm high on stage. People
Yeah.
start coming up out of the audience. You're like, I'm just kidding.
well, no, I just don't even want to encourage because like I always make that shit sound cool and fun.
Yeah, and you don't want them.
I don't want them to do it and get in trouble.
Yeah, that would.
But
suck.
if I'm in LA or DC, I'll be like, all right, I can talk.
Yeah,
I
do as
like-
much drugs as you want, kids.
Yes.
I
I'll tell fun stories on it too, and it's like, all right, that's cool.
I had Hannah's cousin hit me up. We were at her grandfather's birthday party. One of her cousins was like, he's 17. He was like, "What's that pipe thing you keep hitting on Instagram? It's so cool." And I was like, "Ooh, hit me up in a couple of years. I'll show you all about it."
Yeah, that's another whole dynamic too, because it's out there, right?
Yeah.
So then, yeah. So what do they do? This is a dumb question. This is dab number 2 question. What do the cops do when someone's way too high and they're like fucking up?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Like whether they're obviously like fucking some like they're whether it's traffic.
I mean, it is a DUI.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a DUI.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that solves that question.
They don't make you like,
I think the big thing is.
I'm trying to
is
think of
proving
anything
that it's
else
hard to
that you're
prove.
doing that can fuck things up for like civil. Like you
It's
know.
tough
Very
for when
few
you're like,
Very few things, right?
yeah.
Just eating too much ice cream at the park. Like, sir, you're gonna have to slow
Oh,
down.
calm down. These
Yeah.
kids are crying. Yeah, you buy up.
You're eating
fucking
all
shit.
the ice cream. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's a good point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like when
Being a
some-
public disturbance, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know,
but
on a
what do you-
bicycle, just being too high on a bicycle and holding up traffic.
blasting Bob Marley the whole time. It's tough to be.
Like, sir, you're holding up traffic. You gotta be an idiot to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an idiot.
I feel like when you're on heroin, it's like a much crazier thing, right? You can tell when someone's on
Yeah,
heroin.
but they like push them all to one street downtown. Like they're like, all right, you can only be in this relegated area. You're only gonna fuck up this one street. Is that not the truth?
Here's a tent.
Yeah. Like these are the tents you could fuck up. All right, like these. Yeah.
Did you, I mean, what was the homeless like in D.C.? Was it crazy?
Yes, but first off, post COVID, everything got crazy.
Yeah,
Post
everything got a lot
COVID, I think every city got really like downtown areas and that's what I noticed by traveling. Just every downtown area is pretty fucking rough right now.
Yeah.
And then once you get past that part, it's like a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I did notice the homeless people in Denver, Colorado were very stoned. Where you're just like, usually people are on crazier stuff, but I can definitely tell everyone's just high.
They must still have compassion program out there where it's
Yeah.
like free weed for homeless.
Oh, really?
They used to, like in medical days, like that was huge out here where it was like compassion. You literally just go into dispensaries and ask for compassion as long as you're a patient.
Yeah,
like
bro.
they
How do you
usually
pr-
had some free something.
How did you prove you're homeless?
You didn't have to. You just had to ask for compassion.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it was just like normally you wouldn't be able to like make a purchase also. You know what I mean? So, but you can go up to a place and be like, do you guys have anything?
Yeah.
Like, and vendors usually leave like small samples or whatever because it was medical back then. So it was a
Yeah.
lot more of like helping people who need it.
Yeah.
Word. Thank you, dog. Fuck it, bro. Nah,
How do
you're
you-
fucking. You're with it still.
How do
I
you
like
feel post dab number 2?
Definitely in a different headspace.
Right, it's
Way more reflective.
And
way more. I fucking dug deep on that fucking cop story. Jesus Christ. Bringing up trauma over here. Fucking really went back in the day for that one. Fuck, bro. You're gonna have a good time, not have fucking remember.
Is not, but you're not like crazy high, right? You
No,
can
I'm
just
super coherent.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah. It's a good high.
Yeah.
I trust you guys. I feel like because you guys. Here's the thing about me and drugs. I only do it with people who know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? I don't like to dabble with people who don't know. They're like, hey, let's try this out. I'm like, nah, I'm rather hang with the expert. So I feel like I'm in good hands when it comes to dabs. And if I were to freak out on the dabs, I feel like I could tell you guys, and you'd be like, all right, man, this is what you got to do. Like, I know you got some tricks up your sleeve.
Yeah, a couple things.
Yeah, a couple things. But I drink water. I think you're straight with water.
Yeah, that's a big thing there.
Nah, it's a clean high, too. It's clean as fuck. It's obviously the best brand in the game. Puff. Cold? I just got here, guys. I just got here. I'm sorry. I don't know the brands.
That's the clip.
Clip it. Clip it up.
Oh my god. All right. So have you? This is probably a good question to ask too, comedy wise. And so, did you have to do all the showcases and everything?
For what?
Just like JFL or any of these things.
Yeah, I just did one that night. We did it.
Yeah. Did you going into this now versus back then? Did you do one back then?
Yes, I did actually. Yeah,
So
I've done a couple.
So now that it's this weird thing of being like, you're like, oh, I don't need this. Like, I want it.
Yeah.
But you have the thing that you just wanted to tour, so you have that now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So, what was the question?
Do you feel like it is still the same thing, and do you need it?
Oh, I think, yeah, bro, it's weird. Like, it's a weird dynamic because I feel like what I'm like, not to fucking be egoic, but it's like everyone in that room for the most part kind of needed it still.
Right?
And I was this weird exception. Even the material I say on stage is pretty like, it's talking about like how I need to find a new accountant. And like just shit that like I'm making, like I'm already touring and making money, so it's like these are my problems. So like to be on New Faces talking about that, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I guess that's like I guess that's what you got. I don't know. Like I'm just very like, bro. I was like, I don't give a fuck, man. Whatever's next is next, and I'll just do whatever the fuck I gotta do. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
It's like, bro. It's just like what I don't like is being put in like being restricted with comedy.
Right.
That's what I don't. I'm like that's where it gets. Look, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be more myself now. How about that? Like, that's my flex.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to do all my material the way I want to do it. And then that's the only, like, it's more freedom. I think the more successful you have, the more freedom you have in the comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the coolest part of success, to be honest. It's just being yourself, to be able to be yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm hanging out with you guys, but 2-3 years ago, I'd be like, man, I really need these. I want these guys to like me. Like right now, it's like, all right, I hope you guys like me, but if you don't, like, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. That's where I'm at. That's dab number 2, baby. Reflective. Your boy's reflecting. But isn't that how comedy's set up, though? But that's the way comedy's designed. It's a very like, please like me, like from open mic level to like, to the top. It never ends. So you just try to manage the whole, like, please. Because you don't want to be that guy either. That guy is just so fucking annoying, bro. It's so annoying. It's like, hey, man, like, I don't know, you're just trying to please everyone. You're trying to be always the funny. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Just chill. So I'm very lucky I don't have to be that guy. Thank God. Because there is that guy who needs that.
Yeah.
He's like trying to keep his job or keep his little spot. I'm like, dog, you can have it, bro. I'm good. That's
you can see it too.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's the worst person. But I feel bad because coming up, I used to think like, oh, you got to be an opener for someone really big, and then they're going to open the door.
Yeah.
Then you're going to be in. And then it's like.
You drive like 10 headliners to the airport.
Or like trying to find them weed or like whatever the fuck you got to do for them.
Sucks.
And I'm like, this isn't the way. Like this, I've got nothing from this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I should just be funny.
Yeah.
And then, man. So that's kind of like where I'm at after dab number 2. That's all I got to say about that.
Introducing dab number 3.
All right.
Yo, so how far? What levels are we like? Is there like how many dabs are we doing?
This is the last one.
No, this is the
All
last
right,
one.
all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I was about to be like, hey, bros, the boy's getting. I'm getting up there already. I don't know how much higher we can go. I'm like, how do we end the show? Like, we gotta fight. Like, we gotta have a fist fight.
The guy that grew it's going to come out here, and if you can't remember the names of every strain, you got to fight him.
Oh my god, it's intense. I love it though.
Well, all these, you want to tell, so the guys that grew Punch Extract, the guys that did this,
Puncher X.
and Luma Farm.
It's a lot of names.
I know. They're very
What do
good.
you think of a lot of these guys who put their the thought they put into their names? Because if you're like coming up with a drug company name, it's got to be a fire ass name.
Well,
You can't have like a chill. You can't have like Sanders Inc. Like what the fuck?
that's the other thing too. Is I guess you're starting to see like people who jump into the market and names a lot of what drives sales, right? So it was like Napalm was what's his name's brand, and then that got into some trouble because of the Vietnam War.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was it was wild. And then Girl Scout Cookies was a brand kind of name for a strain. And then the Girl Scout Cookies sued them for the name.
Amazing. I love it.
Same thing with Gorilla Glue.
Everyone's getting their cut, baby. The American dream. You got to pay everybody off, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Ain't nothing
pretty wild.
free, bro.
No, it is pretty wild. What do you think? I mean, you see brands a lot.
That's so
with fun
funny.
names.
Like the drug game is like elevated to like legal battles. That's amazing.
yeah.
The dab knife 2 piece.
Oh,
That's
you
so
see
fucking cool, man. Yeah, bro. I got out, bro. I was fucking.
You didn't drop the LLC?
And sometimes because I still got some homies that dabble and first off, they're like legitimate businessmen now, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, yeah, what would my personality have been if I just stayed and then just like become that guy?
You'd be running a dispensary. Who knows?
Kind of, or just be annoying too, bro. I feel like a lot of these cats who like make a lot of money off this shit can be annoying as fuck. Cause you know what it is? You just don't have like, I think most people got into it because it's like the thing to do after high school. Like you're just like, it's like the natural progression if you ain't shit. You're like, oh fuck, I ain't got no fucking, I can't get into college. I don't want to I don't want to work for nobody. I'll do this. And then if you work your way up to the top and you're fucking making real money, I don't think any of those guys mapped it out. Like at least back in the day,
No.
that you could go this far.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
This wasn't the now it's like like you can fucking build it.
Yeah, people are doing cocaine on yachts.
Yeah. It's that level.
Right? There was those guys who did cocaine on yachts.
Oh, the guy who got caught. No, he got caught trafficking cocaine.
Oh, it was a guy. Yeah, it was.
No,
yeah,
yeah,
it was a
Yeah, but he was like big
Natural progression. Yeah.
in California weed, and he was seen as like a big Chad in the weed industry.
Do you know what a Chad is in the weed industry?
I thought it was a country for a second. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, Chad,
I mean,
the country?
it is.
Hold up. All right. So what's some context on dab number 3? Where do you guys at? As far as like mentally, where am I supposed to be? Because
The last two have been sativas, and they're both, sativa leaning, so more uplifting, more euphoric, because they have the strain papaya in there, which is Jack Herrera and
papaya.
and some
And then
skunk.
so this one vibrated. So this is number 3.
It's good to go, yeah. And that one's gonna be the lem paya, so it's gonna be a papaya again, but
Tell
crossed
me
with
how am I
lemon
supposed to feel? I
OG.
just want to do a before and after. Where are we at? What's
You should feel more of like a euphoric kind of uplifting, like in your,
Euphoric?
yeah,
Sounds like you're about to come.
yeah.
I'm about to fucking come my ass off.
After dab number 4,
Fuck,
that's the
all right.
trick.
Fuck, you guys set the bar pretty high.
Someone did at the Philharmonic. Did you see that story?
I
did
did.
see that.
That's kind of wild.
That's kind of weird, actually. Someone
It's
wanted
interesting.
attention. I'm like, what the fuck? Who does that? That's a lot. It seems like someone at the opera would do that. Fucking theater dropout.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm just going off on after dab. This is that dab number 2, baby. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Dab number 3 got me. It's clean, though, bro.
Super tasty.
Yeah, bro. They perfected the... Bro, I remember the dabs with the... That shit. Back when that shit came out.
I love when it's like, you remember when that shit dropped?
Yeah.
Bro, it's not because like I
Camping
remember
torches.
it was like a very like the people who did that back then was like, oh, you're a wild boy. But now it's like, now everything has been so normalized and like I'm seeing like the community do it. It's chill, which is how I think drugs should be. First off, it should be like the very like communal and.
But
like,
it is intimidating when you pull a torch up.
Bro, the whole thing behind it's like, and yeah, just the energy. I think, I don't know, this could be a hot take, but I think it's all about intention too, bro. Like the energy you bring to like just doing anything, it can change the whole vibe.
Yeah, the sound of that thing going off. Oh yeah, the sound.
Yeah, just like there's nothing chill about. Yeah, bro, it was a wild conversation too. I that trip, fucking that dab, bro. Like, yeah, I hallucinated off that one.
The last one?
Not this one.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm talking about my story.
It's like, I
About
think
when
that was
did
the
it
mushroom
back
you took
when I did it
earlier.
in 2000.
What was the first one? Like the first torch one you had to do?
It was 2009.
Holy
back
shit.
when I was in the Bay. When
It
I
was
was like,
early too.
I was
It's
dealing.
like,
I was dealing in the Bay back then.
Yeah.
And this was like a dealer, and I was at a spot, and we're like trying to vibe each other out on a deal, like before we do a deal. So he broke.
Burn out some
He's like, you want to do a dab? Yeah. And I'm just like, this is 2009. I'm like, I don't know what that is, man. I'm from the East Coast. I'm like trying to try some Bay Area shit, because the Bay Area was definitely like very advanced when it comes to like they were ahead of So I remember doing it, bro, and bro, I started seeing things. And I was like, yeah, I don't fuck with this dude. No deal with this guy. Yeah.
Was it a red hot one?
What do you mean?
Like when he was torching it up?
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
the banger red hot?
Yeah, you're talking about the torch?
No. Like the thing he was warming up, was it red hot?
What do you mean red? What's red hot?
Like as in like
red?
it was glowing red because he had made it so hot.
It was definitely titanium for sure.
Yeah.
It was a piece of metal that he'd vaporized on, but it was probably red hot for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was, bro. I just remember it being very like.
And like tons of hot white smoke.
It felt very
off the-
cracky too. Like very like it just felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I just that was like that hit was like, oh, that's what I'm saying. This is that's why for me, like what was I said 2009, and we're in 14 years later. I'm doing it like this. I'm like, oh, this is clean. My fucking throat doesn't hurt. I'm good to go.
Your lungs aren't exploding?
Bro, drugs are so dog. I remember the first time I smoked weed, bro, it was out of a soda can with aluminum foil in the fucking woods, bro. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. Where in the woods? Where?
It's not too far from my spot. Like,
No, I meant like
just enough. Just
like what state?
Just enough. Like, I was like, I think I was 14. I think 15. I didn't want my parents to find out, so I was like, let me go to the woods. And it was like 3-4 of us doing out of a soda. Dog, it was aluminum foil in a soda can is terrible for your like. It's a bad,
Oh no, yeah. Dude, I didn't realize that. I used to make pipes out of foil all the time whenever I didn't have anything to smoke out of. And then someone finally was like, doing that, like smoking aluminum's not good for you. I was like, oh really? Oh shit. So then I started making out of like apples. And
Well, shout out to Puffco, just for the cleanest fucking hits off the dabs.
Here, I
We've
wanna
come
show
a
you
long
this.
way. Fuck, bro, this was a good hang.
Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, when we were in the East Coast, I remember you saw me, I was getting blasted then too. I was so high.
Yeah. Now you were having a great time.
I was having a good time. I remember there was that falafel spot right across the street from the DC Improv.
Yeah.
No, the Big Hunt. That spot was amazing too.
Yeah, sick.
That was
Rest
sick.
in peace, Big Hunt.
Is it not there anymore?
Now COVID took it, bro. But he opened up a bigger, better spot
Okay.
It's called a hotbed.
Is it still underground?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Same lighting, same everything.
I love an underground club.
Yeah, bro.
I love an underground club. And no matter where it is, if there's stairs and I got to go down, I love it. It's great. It's so great.
It's great vibes. Damn, man. Yeah, it makes me want to fucking make me think about comedy right now.
Yeah, man. Comedy's fun. Look at everything it's getting us. We're all high. We're on a fun podcast. What time are we at, just so I know? Oh, okay. Perfect. Sweet. All right. Do you want to get stoneder?
Ooh.
You don't have to. I
right.
know I do. I want to do one more fat dab.
Y'all just get stone. So is this how you hang?
Most of the time,
Most
yeah.
of the
This
time,
will
that's pretty
because
sick.
I wanted this to kind of be like the hang that we have at the back of the store. I mean, you've been
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
in the back sacred
course,
ground where we're
of
all
course.
just smoking weed, hanging out.
I still feel very new, and I'm very like naturally. I'm I don't want to say I'm introverted. Like I keep to myself a lot, so it's hard for me to be in those settings because I just feel like I don't want to I don't want to be the talker. Like, oh, this guy's just talking about himself, because that's what comics do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's so annoying, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
comics just talk about themselves. So it's hard for me to be in social settings because I don't want to talk about myself.
Well, there's also, I don't know if I've felt this more now that I've had more friends come around, but there's like the feeling of being around comics and you're like, oh, this is this is hanging out with comedians. And then
Right.
there's like, oh, these are my friends who are comics, and we're just having fun.
Yeah.
And this feels more of like a hang with friends than it does like.
It gets
comedy shit.
tricky. It does get tricky as you grow too. And
Yeah.
like, I don't want to talk about like, I want to like after doing mics for many years, I have become a little bit more like, I can't hear every comic talk to me. Like, it's just,
No.
it's just, there's too much stuff out there.
Because some people don't know how to just be people.
Yeah, bro. There's so much miscellaneous information that my brain can take. And I think sometimes you talk to people, you're like, oh, I don't need to know any of it. Like, this is unnecessary information. A lot of gossip too. I'm not big on a good guy. I don't like gossip. It gets real murky in the comedy streets. When you start to hear gossip, I'm like, I'm in the wrong room. I should.
In L.A. and look, bro,
LA loves a good gossip, bro.
Bro, comics
They
and gossip
fucking.
is, woo!
I did a podcast where someone asked me for gossip on the podcast. Like that was and I was like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like I'm not gonna fucking but you don't even have to say their name. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking
Send them my information. I've got glossaries, dog.
Yeah.
I'm writing a fucking weekly magazine. I
guy-
got so much tea.
Yeah.
Just dumb shit.
LA shit.
Just dumb shit.
That's the thing. LA's got its own chapters on shit, and there's like subculture.
Well, it's also like you talk to managers, you talk to agents, and then they also all know the real shit behind the scenes.
Of course.
And that's also the funny thing too, is because all those guys are like they're not like comics. They've always wanted to be comics, probably
Sure.
most of them. So they live off of the like, oh, I know the real shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
listen, there's no one more powerful than a fucking agent's assistant who's got that tick account. You know?
Yeah.
They're just like, how
But
much?
that's the thing, bro. I don't even like that shit. Because for me, it's like, that shit's draining, bro.
Oh yeah,
I just rather hang with my boys and just
Yeah.
kick it and just have fun, bro.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
Well, that's because you're selling at weekends. You know what I mean?
maybe I'm just being reflective right now.
He was reflective.
I think that, but these are my new problems.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I just want, bro. I don't want to. I'm just trying to chill, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm because I get to do what I want. Like with,
Yeah.
I did the thing and I'm doing it.
Yeah, and it's
I-
also
and I'm gonna-
stability is weird,
Yeah,
right?
I'm about to get engaged. You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
nice.
So I'm trying to be like, marry one of the, Teamy Sposo vibes.
But yeah, stability is weird, right?
It is, but then you start.
Especially off of comedy.
I've been stable for a little bit now, and now I'm like, all right, like now I'm like in the very like what's next shit, and I've sought out more organic, genuine moments as like my thing. Like, oh, that's gonna be the vibe.
Yeah.
So, like, just be yourself,
Yeah.
and then like get high, get fucked up, and reflect. Dog, I'm telling you, bro, y'all gotta reflect more. The streets don't want you to reflect. They want you to be like consumed with everything you're watching.
That's why there's so many potholes, so there's not enough water.
That's
to
why there's so
grow
many
and then
podcasts.
fucking-
Start reflecting more.
You don't
Stop
reflect,
watching. y'all not reflecting. Reflect.
all right. Is there anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Nah, man, just check me out on TikTok and Instagram, or check out my shows on my website, martinamini.com. That's all the shows for my tour, the Bolivian Famous tour. Yeah, man, I'm doing like 35 cities in the next 12 months, so pull up.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. Anything you want to plug?
Check out Terp Tasting every Friday on Punch Edibles YouTube channel and All Things Punch on Twitter.
Yeah, all things Punch Comedy. Follow me on Instagram. I'm always at the store. I'm gonna be in Austin this next week. Thank you so much. Have a good night. So much fun.